would say things like, oh, it's okay for your friends to be gay, but not you. God, no, like, please.
Does anyone have number 1 printed on their statement? If you can flip over the card.
Okay, I read it now.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I've been embarrassed about my sexuality before.
I turned my light on. So simply put, yes, I am still embarrassed about my gender identity. I've always associated being gay with something negative and something I've still internalized to this day. My name is Callie. I am a little nervous, and it did take me like a lot of courage to come here. I think I was one of the few female Chinese students in the school in my year who were like out. I thought by now at this age, I would be less embarrassed than I was when I was younger. Sadly, I am not.
I don't think embarrass is the word I would use. I think when in my slightly younger years, I was confused. My name is Sophia Shek. I grew up in a wee town in Scotland, and so I always thought I was the only gay in the village. I was a little bit angry because there was never really, any education and people teaching you, the kind of words you can use to describe how you feel.
We cannot learn it from school, we cannot learn it from our parents.
My name is Nick, and I come from Chongqing, China. It's a relatively conservative part of China. Our parents, they may be not open-minded. They'll think LGBT is kind of like you don't want to settle down.
I did feel a bit embarrassed when I first tried to explore my sexuality.
So before I know what is transgender, I was very confused because I don't know what I am. I like girls. I thought I'm a lesbian.
I'm Liam. My gender identity is man, so people will usually use the label the transgender man. I confirmed this identity when I was about 14.
I didn't turn on the lights because for my sexuality, I don't feel embarrassed. I am quite proud of being pansexual.
I wouldn't have reacted the way my parents did when I came out.
I think why I put my light on is because obviously I identify as gay, and so I wouldn't want my child to feel like what they were doing or how they feel about another person to be wrong or to feel like it's something to feel negative about. I'm Kayla Wong. I was dating my pretty serious girlfriend at the time. And I was on FaceTime with her, and my mom happened to be around, and she basically called me out. It actually kind of turned into a fight. She was actually yelling back at me and was like, "You're gonna have like a really hard life. Like, why would you choose this? I want to see you get married and have kids." She was actually very confrontational in the sense where every thing that she said or every thought that she had was negative.
They would say things like, oh, it's okay for your friends to be gay, but not you. God, no, like, please, and also it's really gross. Like, if you told me one day like you were gay, that's really disgusting. I think I'm 90% out of the closet. Okay. And I say that because I haven't come out to my parents yet. So if they see this video, they'll know.
Well, in my household, it's more like a kind of like don't talk, don't tell, that kind of situation. I'm Justin. When people see me, I don't need to come out, and then they know that who I am. But in my private life, like as in like in family, it's a complete different self.
For a person to truly feel like themselves and to truly live a life of authenticity is to be able to be who you are completely with your family.
If I found the one, then I would definitely share the happiness with them.
I never really officially came out to my parents, but my parents have met several of my partners over the many years of my dating life. And so just meeting them is already kind of my coming out. And I think if your mum leaves like 2 bowls of soup for you, I think that's kind of acceptance in itself. They just call everyone 好朋友.
The Chinese community is accepting of the LGBTQ plus community.
I think people who understand who we are, understand the culture, love us, but people who hate us really hate us.
Yeah.
I want you to focus on the comment section on Facebook. Those comments are extremely homophobic, transphobic, and even misogynistic.
I can remember that there's one time her colleagues told her that, oh, I heard your daughter's is transgender. They use some not very friendly words and talks things behind my mom, and my mom actually heard that, and she just come up to that person and said, it's none of your business. He is my son.
I think Asia in general is obviously way behind when it comes to being more open and being more accepting of the LGBT plus community. But I feel like I've seen a lot of progress, and I put my light on maybe because personally I don't feel that much discrimination.
Ooh, so many good conversations from you guys. So I struggled whether to turn on or off my light as well, and I relate very much to Sophie. I would say overall that no, the Chinese community is not as accepting as Western communities. And I also feel like, at least in terms of Cantonese in our language, when I think of the words for lesbian and gay and bisexual, it's like 同性戀, or is it 雙性戀? It sounds very strange and weird, right? It's not normalized enough. When we think of the English terms that we use, it sounds more natural, at least from my perspective.
I feel judged when I am with my partner in public. I don't really have a partner. Like throughout my official partner, I don't really have one. So I can't really answer this question. But if I do, I don't really mind at all. Like, yeah, like I don't know how to answer this question actually. Like, yeah, let's just skip that for me.
Okay.
How unfortunate.
Sell yourself. Okay. Like, you're available.
Oh yes, I'm available. I know how to cook. I'm a good housewife.
I've had many partners before, and I find going out, I don't think people look at us differently from any other couple. I feel very, very comfortable holding my partner's hand. I think in general, when you walk down the street, you see two female identifying people holding hands. It's very cool. But when I would do that with my partner outside of Hong Kong, I'm very aware that I am not in Hong Kong. For example, last time was in Melbourne. We didn't feel particularly safe. We always looked over our shoulder just in case.
Yeah, so I do have my light on. I was gonna jump in and just agree so hard about Hong Kong people being really judgy in general. I've worked in Hong Kong and in Canada where I went to university. So it's actually in Hong Kong where I've had maybe some more negative experiences when I came out, to my colleagues. They just thought it was very strange, or I also found that they liked testing their sexuality out on me. They wouldn't maybe flirt with me or do all these unnecessary things, which just made me feel really uncomfortable.
When I go on dates, if I went out with a girl, so people just say, oh, like you guys are a couple and stuff like that. But if I went out with a guy, people would be like, oh, you guys are getting a little bit too close. I do feel being judged, but I don't feel like that caused me any inconvenience or anything. Yeah.
I feel supported by my government.
So it's a hard no for me. It's like complete no. If you want to find the description of homophobia, you can see our legislative council.
We do not even have the gender recognition law. I'll say when it comes to trans people, we have to do court case for even going to toilets. When I go to the male bathroom, it is actually illegal. And our clinic is inside the mental illness clinic.
I'm just going to jump in there. I definitely don't feel supported by my government. I can speak maybe from a filmmaker's perspective. Every time we send movies for censorship, you find that anything gay sex or anything, we're definitely going to get category 3 regardless, but yet, you know, you have more, you know, crazy straight sex happening on screen, but they can pass for a much lower category. That kind of discrimination you see.
I do want to build a family, and that is probably the hardest part to do in Hong Kong. And for them to recognize both parents, so far there hasn't really been any very positive cases where they make it easy. Like, you actually have to adopt your child, you know, if your partner is the one that carries the baby, and then even then they make it a very, very difficult process for you to do. So,
But I just imagine if I wanted to grow old with a wife, I wanted to marry her, we wouldn't have the right. They, like, my partner passes away, and then, like, you know, not being able to have her, like, inheritance or, like, you know, sign things for her, you know, I think that's ridiculous.
But have you ever wished that you were straight?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like we are definitely more visible as, like, a community of people, but when it comes to things that, for example, a straight couple can do versus, you know, us, I think there's still a huge gap, and I think we're a very long way to making that happen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. That's a wrap.
In the next episode,
cannabis.
Okay.
It has been classified as a drug, illegal drug, in the past.
We invite parents to react to stuff that's trending among the younger generation.
Almost all countries.